Hello, and welcome to Staying Strong for Marriages. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Staying Strong for Marriages. It's great to have you. I want to announce an exciting new addition to the channel. It's going to basically be an app that you can use called Connect with Me. Connect with Me is just a simple way where you can call in, we can speak to each other, we can pray together. It's something that I thought would be a nice addition to some of the research that I've been doing for the last 7 years on Staying Strong for Marriages. So yes, there's a lot of content, but for some people, it's just nice to be able to talk with someone. I was kind of praying with the Lord. I said, Lord, during this time, it's been difficult to find work. God, what should I do? From there, I kind of looked at some career resource advice. And a lot of people were saying, well, find out what you're really good at and what you really care about. And one thing that I do obviously care very much about is, well, the Lord, first of all. I'm really trying to follow the Lord, but also families and marriages in crisis and kids. And I want to thank you so much for the people that have shared different Bible verses. The interviews have been really powerful. I wish we've done more of those, but to hear firsthand from people about the things that they've endured, what it's like to be a child of divorce. And just over the last 7 years since I've been running this channel, I've learned a lot about how common these trials are, how devastating they are, how long lasting they are. And then from there, I really thought, okay, this is important to me. I have certain knowledge. I have a certain care for this type of thing. So this is a good thing to offer to people. I'll leave you the phone number that you can call. Basically, the way it works is if I'm available, I'll turn the app on. I'm planning to have it on pretty much all the time. And you can call the number on the screen. Basically, if I'm available, it'll give you an option of like 1 or 2 different calls, like 30 minutes or an hour session. And then it'll prompt you for just entering your payment information, a debit card. And that's the way it works. So they handle all the billing. And I set the hourly rate as low as possible. So it's per minute rate, 99 cents. Yeah, they wouldn't allow me to do any less than that. And so that's essentially what the service is. One thing that also happened after I was looking at some of that, like career and how should you do work and what's meaningful work and some of that stuff, was I went back and I recalled when I was in graduate school. I have a master's degree it's called social entrepreneurship, but it's essentially how to start and manage nonprofits. And of course, during that degree program, we looked at a lot of the issues that nonprofits get into, which is human suffering in a nutshell, and the ways that that can be alleviated either through grant writing or business or some combination of the two, right? Offering services for a fee in order to keep the lights on and pay the staff and everything and run the programming, or, yeah, like I said, grant writing or private donations. But a lot of things we got into were all the normal stuff: homelessness, addiction, different levels of trauma recovery, family issues. We looked at child soldiering. We looked at people that worked in different forms of slavery, whether, like forced labor or other types, right? Which probably I shouldn't say on YouTube. And one of the things that they talked about in the recovery process was that when people go through, well, first I should say this, when people go through trauma, very, very serious trauma, and I think divorce is absolutely in this category, whether you're a child. I mean, I can't talk to you if you're under 18, okay? I'll talk about the things I can't do, but this is definitely a service for adults. And so going back to these books that we were reading, people have a huge faith crisis. Essentially, if they go through something very evil, it triggers within us as humans, it seems like across the board, no matter like what culture you grew up in or what religious bloc your society adheres to: Islam, Christianity, Mormonism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jain, right, many others, that people, they like lose faith in the goodness of the world. And so the way they kind of talk about it is they lose faith in God. It's like God does not make any sense to us somehow when things go completely off the rails. Yeah. But one of the things that they talked about after that part was somehow people recover in a few different ways. One way is nature, being exposed to beauty, wholesome beauty, and kind of just absorbing in, right? Nature kind of proclaims the works of God, right? His handiwork, the Psalms talk about. And so looking at the sky, looking at how big the mountains are, seeing the waves roll in, seeing that the birds are fed, seeing that somehow mysteriously the trees grow, the grass grows, there's these bugs and there's these babies, next generation, all this stuff. Somehow the blowing of the wind even, right? It is very, very powerful. So that's one thing. I can't do that for you, but I would encourage you to go and do some of that stuff. Get off the screens, go outside. be quiet, know that God is real, know that be still and know that I am God, is what he says, right? But another thing we learned about is that there is something that they have identified as far as the power of telling your story. That somehow, in some way, taking the things that has happened to us and verbalizing it and talking about it, somehow in our own mind, it reaffirms that that was real, that that was important, that actually happened, that the things that seem so confusing, somehow they start to, solidify, they make more sense. I just found that people have a huge desire just to talk, just to have somebody care about their life. So that's essentially what this is an opportunity to reach out and talk to somebody who's been down the road. Yeah, God even talks about, with the compassion that you received during like our time of trial, which I've gone through this whole marriage crisis and continue to do so, that with the compassion you received during your trial, you can give that compassion to others. So I'll try to put that verse on the screen as well here, because I don't have it set to memory for the chapter and verse. But that's generally the idea. Yeah, there's a lot of different scriptures about carrying one another's burdens and the like. So I don't want to be a primary go-to person to you. I made a video about, I think the first 7 years of divorce recovery and marriage restoration, right? Which I'm still in the process of doing. But I think in year one, the big thing you can do is you can find the resources that are going to help you, and God will bring certain people out of the woodwork sometimes even that are really going to be on your team, that he is really assigned to walk with you through this trial, to pray with you. Those are your key people. This is supposed to be way, way, way cheaper than counseling. And so I'll talk about that next, but find those people. Find those people in year one, year two, who are really going to be in your corner and be the ones to help you. Sometimes they're not available, or sometimes they haven't done all the biblical research that I've done in order to be able to kind of fast track you or point you to some of these different scriptures. So here's a free one that I got recently in Bible study. Someone asked me, are the rules for divorce and marriage different for men and women? Basically, I said, do you mean, is this a gendered morality? Does it matter? Yeah, regarding some of the issues related to divorce and remarriage and stuff like that. And I said, hey, I had that question for a long time, and then people taught me, and I told them this is where you can go find it. Yeah, so you can find it basically in the passages in Mark and Luke. They will help you basically find the answer for that. So there's a lot of different tricky things that, I'm happy to walk you through as well if that's helpful. If you don't want to watch all the content on Staying Strong for Marriages, I understand. But yeah, I've read a lot of books, I've talked to a lot of people, I've been at this for a while, so we can do that. But primarily, it's just people have told me that I'm a good listener and they ask good questions, which I've found so flattering because that's just nice. It's just nice to get feedback from people about what you're good at. So primarily that's what it is, to let you do the talking, to let you, talk about your frustrations and be available to do that. Okay, here's what I'm not, and here's what I can't offer. I'm not, even though I did this graduate program, I'm not a clinical professional. I'm not a certified marriage and family therapist. I'm not a certified mental health therapist. So that means I cannot do certain things like help you diagnose or sort through any sort of mental health diagnoses that you have or don't have. I don't know. That's not my training. I cannot, I'm not a mandated reporter. Okay. So, I can't, go and I'm not like required by law. I'm not a licensed professional. I can't diagnose or make judgments on different things that have happened legally. Yeah. Or in some of these defining your situation and matching it with some kind of, mental health diagnosis on the part of your partner, or whether what they did was legal or illegal, or how it will go in the courts, or the way the divorce courts will operate, or child custody or custody payments. Those are all things I cannot do. I'm just not qualified. I just don't know. I wouldn't want to steer you in the wrong direction or give you the wrong advice. So essentially what I can do is two things, really. I can listen to your story and I can ask good questions. I can also pray with you. Love to pray with you. Also, I can basically try to help you find scriptures that are helpful or biblical resources, talk about those. I haven't read all the books, obviously, but I've been doing this for a long enough time period where I feel like I'm starting to hear, like I've heard for now a long time, the same arguments, the same things that people say, related to a lot of just different issues, justifications for divorce, difficulties of living by the scriptures, just like a lot of problems as far as the risks that we can run into and things like that. Again, not here to really give advice on those things, but I can at least share other stories from other people that I've heard go through similar things, and you can glean from that whatever you like. And maybe I haven't heard those stories. One of my favorite verses is, it's in Ephesians. Yeah, it talks about putting on the full armor of God. Yeah, it talks about being prepared for the day of evil. Yeah, which comes against us. Yeah, it talks about being prepared for the day of evil, which comes against us. And unfortunately, the truth is, a lot of people face a lot of different forms of this day of evil. And so I hope to be an encouragement. I hope to be available. I'm going to continue to do work on Staying Strong for Marriages YouTube content. But this is kind of something new that I thought I'd add. So I think you get the basic idea. Again, I'll leave the information on the main page. Let me show you here. Okay, so if you want to go and check it out, the app that I'll be using to the call service is called Connect with Me, and this is the platform. It's used for like coaches, subject matter experts. Like you can imagine if you were maybe starting a brewery, it'd be interesting to talk to somebody. I'm not a social media model. Live streamers, coaches, influencer agents. So this is the type of thing. It's basically that you can call in, basically like on my end, they provided me a private number, but it'll ring into my phone. You can set the call rates and availability and basically like promote it with people. Yeah. So that's basically what we're doing. You can find out more information on Connect with Me and, the YouTube channel. If you ever like need the number, some autoplay going on there. We'll mute that, but it'll be under here, the description. And hey, keep praying. We are praying. I just read this. Hundreds of thousands of restored marriages each year. I mean, that is so ambitious. I sometimes wonder if even a few handful of marriages could be restored. And the numbers just haven't been huge. But we're continuing to talk with people. Again, I want to thank the different folks that have commented over the years and shared their thoughts and their Bible verses because it's been helpful to me. So I'll basically add that phone number here in this description box in case you ever need to find it. And the handle or the website is www.youtube.com/ and then @ and then Staying Strong for Marriage is one word. All together, no spaces. And that way you'll be able to find it and we can talk. And so thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hey, wanted to take a quick second and let you know about some opportunities that are available through Staying Strong for Marriages on Patreon. We have different tiers where you can donate. We're not putting extra content on Patreon, so all of it will be available on YouTube. But this is just an opportunity. God says, hey, I want you to be a cheerful giver. And so a lot of that has to do with the causes and the little parts of the kingdom that we're involved with. And so I want to let you know that if you want to get behind marriages and helping kids, helping families, spouses, in the good name of Christ in the culture, through the work we're doing, you can be involved. You're welcome to. So $500 to $500 a month, because I actually really never have any idea how much money people are making. But anyway, you get the idea. I'll leave you the link in the show notes, and let's get back to it. Thanks.